Welcome back to Girls Rewatch,
a podcast about girls,
TV, and girls on TV.
Right now, we are rewatching Broad City. Today, we are discussing season 2, episode 8, Kirk Steele, which is famously the one where we find out Paul W. Downs has a past as a porn star.
Finally, and not finally because it's every episode, but finally an iconic episode.
Every single episode of Broad, but this is the episode where memes were born.
By the way, this episode created a genre of GIF.
GIF or GIF? Are we going to answer that question? It's like, let's pretend it's 2015.
Literally.
We have to answer the question. Is it GIF or GIF? What's your vote?
Moms everywhere are freaking out right now.
I'm like, there's got to be a BuzzFeed article about
By the
this.
way, they're still talking about this on LinkedIn.
So it's GIF.
Yeah.
And that's because my professors at my university where I studied media production
Language.
let me know that it was GIF.
They said that?
Yeah.
When I took a social media course in college, it was taught by a 75-year-old man.
Oh, he must have known everything.
And I was like, by the way, I had to help him teach a class.
So it's huge in our world. I met every gay guy that I'm friends with new boy last night, and it was a huge night for me.
Was it huge?
Yeah, just in that it's like I felt
left out and excluded.
You know, in Mamma Mia, when Meryl Streep is like slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to catch.
It is like we all brought them there for you to pick who the father is.
And I'm like, so there's Sam, Bill, and Harry. And I need to decide which of my gay guys' boyfriends are going to walk me down the aisle. No, they were all fun.
You're going to hate to see the twist coming.
No, it's amazing. And I'm rooting for everybody. And I'm happy because love is love is love is love.
Gay love is the most sacred of them all.
It's like the only love I respect. It's like when a straight couple's together, I'm like, well, this is
Boring.
patriarchal and it's problematic. And I feel bad for the women.
Okay, just talking about gay love in general, these facts do fuel me. Right now in America, the most satisfying relationships are women loving women, right? And the least satisfying relationships are men loving men. Lesbians marry at like 60% of all gay marriages, but they also have the highest divorce rate at 70%. Lesbians
are getting divorced
at 70%.
I didn't know lesbians were getting divorced like that.
But when they are married, they have the most satisfying marriages out of any like.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's like this idea that there's one person. It's like, no, your life is full of chapters and each chapter might have a different person, and y'all need to get over this false fairy tale because marriage is literally based on like property and women being property and it being used to like pass down generational wealth.
Right.
So the fact that we're like doing it for love is like messed up and needs to stop, and we need to reframe like what marriage is.
We found one of her hyper focuses.
But that's not what today is about.
And then male marriages, men loving men, those MLM, they have the lowest divorce rate out of any group of marriages, but also the least satisfying marriages.
That checks the hell out. Oh my God. And we could do an entire podcast just about this topic.
And they get married at the lowest rates as well.
And by podcast, I don't mean a podcast episode. I mean a podcast.
No, a whole podcast.
Like a podcast.
Hey guys, let us know if you want to start a second podcast about stats and figures.
Stats and figures is what it's called. Stats and figures with Evan and Amelia.
I'm Stats Your Figures.
Yeah, because I'm working on my figure right now.
Ooh, because Amelia's doing 75 hard.
Don't tell people. That's so annoying. I'm being normal about it.
You're not saying it. Amelia's really good at not telling people she's doing it. I'm really good at telling people she is doing it.
Well, everybody at every party I've been to is like, why aren't you drinking a vodka cran? And I was like, was that really my whole thing?
Yeah.
Let's do the synopsis of this episode. Okay, so minute to win it. Here we go. Just to refresh, if you're here and you're not usually listening, like we usually do like a quick summary.
I really think a lot of podcasts have like ongoing segments. We should have the ongoing segment of you being figure, I'm being stats.
I'm figure, you're stats. Okay, season 2, episode 8, Kirk Steele. Alana is masturbating and comes across a porn where Solstice trainer Trey is the star. And then the A-plot of the episode is Abby uses this newfound knowledge to blackmail Trey into letting her teach a kettlebell class, but when she shatters the mirror, Trey and Abby must raise the funds to buy a new mirror so corporate doesn't find out. Abby tries to sell her clothes at Beacon's Closet, but only makes $20. Thank God, the B-plot is that Alana is babysitting that rich gay child with a gooped-out mom and tries to teach him about the world of Gramercy, outside of Gramercy Park. Like, he goes on the subway.
Literally.
And she's like, so there's classes, and you're rich, by the way. And then the student becomes a teacher when Oliver convinces his mom to make his mom give Alana all her like nice designer clothes. So then Alana and Abby can return to Beacon's closet and make enough money for Abby to buy a new mirror for Solstice with the money. And Naomi Epicgarin wrote this up.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
Hard name to say, but she's even a harder writer. She is so damn good at jokes.
Oh God, she is
funny. One of my favorite comedians.
Literally, she is so funny. Naomi, we love you, girl. And we love our guest today, returning to the pod. We had her
Popular
for girls.
demand.
Popular demand. I mean, we're going to have so much fun. Guys, freak out right now for Ivy Wolk.
Ivy Wolk.
Every single one of my gay guys had boyfriends and brought them out, and it was like just a night of like who's replaced you, and I'm like, this is some of those fucked up shit I've ever seen.
What do you do like when you're going out with your gays? Like, are you flirting with people? Are you trying to get fucked, or are you?
She is. Nothing's happening.
I'm flirting with every gay guy.
I feel like the people you date are like men that don't even register as humans to me, where they're like muscle guys, like guys who are like have like master's degrees but in something useful. Like they're not art history majors.
I am dying to date a man who has a master's degree.
I'm obsessed with the guys you date because I remember we were at we met at the Ruby thing.
At BCC. Not to bring it up
hi.
again.
He's like, I slept with Ivy Wolk. I slept with Ivy Wolk, and then he ran away.
And then we got in a huge fight. And then we got in a huge fight outside. I was like, "You're being weird. You're being weird." And he was like, "How am I being weird? How am I being weird?" And then he leans back as he goes, "How the fuck am I being weird?" He leans back and he knocks a water heater into somebody's car. And it almost went through their car window. There was like a water tank like on the street, and he goes to lean against it, and it falls into somebody's car and like bounces off and crashes onto the ground. Everybody outside BCC turns around, and then I go, well,
where's your bi boyfriend? Literally, take your light bulb.
Literally, like, and then
God,
that was like the last night I ever slept over at his house.
Why does every story start at BCC? It's so crazy.
That had to be the last night.
That was the last night. I haven't seen him since December 2023. I don't know where that man is.
Oh my
He just followed me on Instagram though, and I'm not following back because I'm like, I actually can't. Although when I got out of the psych ward, I stalked him on Instagram because he posted a photo with one of his female friends, and I thought it was his girlfriend. So I texted him, "Do you have a girlfriend?" And he was like, "No, do you?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Do you want to hang out?" He was like, "Do you want to hang out?" And so I replied, like, "I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
Everything has happened to me since we last spoke." Which made me feel
my God,
wanderlust as fuck.
By the way, you could send him the same text.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Wanderlust as fuck.
Yeah, it made me feel like I was just like, you wouldn't get it. But literally he wouldn't, like, but also maybe he would because he's crazy as shit. But like,
do you think he'd get it based off of you met him?
No.
That was the last Pookie I had.
Was
and
he
that
Emerson?
No, he didn't go to college. I met him on Hinge when I first moved here.
Wow.
And we had like a non-sexual situationship for like 3 months where I would just lay in his bed and I would make him watch Girls and I would make him watch all my favorite movies, and he would buy me candy and chips with his mom's credit card, and we would just do drugs and like get fucking wasted. And like I would show up to his place at like 2 a.m. drunk. Like I would just walk to wherever he was. Like if I was like around his neighborhood, I would get mad drunk, and then I would show up to his house and I would be like, "Take pictures of me naked on your DSLR camera. Fuck it." Like I was like trying to be because I feel like when you move to New York, you're trying to be what you think is like what a young person in New York does. And so that was me like acting out on being like, I'm 19 years old and I'm like in fucking New York City and I'm alone and I'm like, I can drink and my mom's not looking over my fucking shoulder at what I'm texting my friends. Like, let me just make this guy take bad pictures of me naked while I'm like flopping around on his mattress. Like now, 2 years into living in New York, I would not fucking act that way.
Right.
I have got my wits about me a little more. I'm a little more cynical, but I was like, again, I was wanderlust as fuck. Like you move to New York and you're like, I'm wanderlust as fuck. I can do anything. I'm in a sitcom. And then actually life throws bricks at your fucking head.
Welcome Ivy Wolk to the podcast.
But then I feel like the New York journey is like growing up a little. It's like you move here thinking like, I'm on a sitcom, I'm in a movie, my life is like joyous and spontaneous, and I'm giving Carrie Bradshaw like joie de vivre, and then life knocks that out of you. But then what happens like in your like mid to late 20s is like actually finding that sitcom spontaneity and joy again.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
It goes from Sex and the City to
You
Girls.
are you are being so wise.
Thank
you.
you.
Last time you were on the podcast, you had literally just landed in New York City. So it's so full circle for you to be like, well, back when I first got here, but look at me now.
Like, yeah, literally I was 36 hours into living in New York when I did your guys' show the first time.
You were 36 hours.
It's literally, I was 36 hours old. That's literally crazy. My shit was still in boxes. Like, I didn't know a thing. Like, I moved here thinking I had such an idea of like who I was gonna be and what my life was gonna look like. And then immediately it's like
shattered,
rug swept out from under your fucking feet. But like, even though that's like a bummer, because really I look back on it and I'm like, bitch, you were so fucking stupid. Like the fantasy ideal that I had for myself, it's just not feasible. It's not realistic. Like this is not a movie. This is real life.
What was
and
the
we
vision?
have medical debt. The vision was
Medical
like,
debt.
I don't even know. Like, I think I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna fuck everybody and everything, and I'm just gonna like have a funny little job, and I'm just gonna have like a silly little job where I'm just like the silly girl at the silly job, and I'm just gonna like have all these friends, and every night we just like go out dancing and all this bullshit, and then I get celiac disease, you know?
Totally,
it's like
that classic trope.
It's like 6 months into living in New York, I'm like, oh, so I'll shit my pants if I eat a loaf of bread. Right. Oh, great. 6 months into living in New York, I'm having a colonoscopy.
Right.
Cool. I thought I was gonna be like doing a split on the dick in a back alley. Like, no, that's not what it gave at all. Like a year and a half living in New York, I'm addicted to Xanax. Like, that's not how it worked. That's not how I thought it would work.
Right.
Totally.
I thought I was really just gonna be like every night, like, this is the best fucking night of our lives. We're young forever. Like, that's really what I thought it would give, and it did not give that one fucking bit, one iota.
So what are you up to now?
Like, trying to be normal,
Right.
because I crashed out so bad. Like, I crashed out in a way that like competes with a lot of the crash outs of like, you know, the people that are around me, like where I kind of can one up a crash out, you know, because I did go so crazy where I was like now I can tell bitches like, I bet you didn't hallucinate bugs under your skin for 7 months, and they're like, no, I guess I didn't.
The crash out that bad to never get one blowout is so devastating.
I know. We were talking about this upstairs. I've never had a blowout. Like, when your hair is blown out, I've never had a blowout. Nary have I stepped foot in a dry bar.
You gotta come with me to Dry Bar and Pilates. We can turn this ship around.
Because literally, like, that's who I have to be. Because right now, like, who I am becoming in my recovery from like the crash out of the fucking century, the crash out of a lifetime, is like, it's not like I thought I would again transform into like, we're young forever, Pilates, Dry Bar. Like, I thought, like, I'm getting out of the psych ward, I'm getting sober, and then I'm gonna like have my hair in fucking curlers before I go to bed, and I'm gonna have like eye patches under my eyes at night, and like I have silk pillowcases. No, like, I sleep with no sheets on my bed. My apartment is 40 degrees. I have sheets. I'm using them as blankets.
Totally. Brooklyn, we gotta help our girl.
Do you guys have a Brooklyn sponsor?
We'll
Not
get
yet.
you one.
Not yet.
Honestly, like, Brooklyn, this is the motherfucking
Right,
episode.
absolutely.
But the thing is, Brooklyn has to send somebody over to my apartment to install the sheets for me. Install like it's a PC to put the sheets on the bed for me, because otherwise they're gonna sit in that box unopened. You best believe.
No.
I wish like I could have a sponsors for life. Well, that's actually what you could do in AA. But like, I wish I could have like but I wish I could get like a sponsorship for like just things to do in my life without actually having to like make any content about it, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I mean, I actually think you could, just in one powerful DM.
That's actually so true. Like, if Sugar Bear Hair could just sponsor my life so that I don't fan at the temples like my mother's accusing me of.
Who is Sugar Bear? What?
Wait, how do you
Sugar
not
Bear
know Sugar
Hair?
Bear?
Sugar Bear Hair?
Girl, it ended the Tati James Charles relationship.
Who's Tati?
How do you, out of all people, not know
Who's
Sugar?
Tati, bitch?
I know James.
Tati Westbrook, bitch. The old lady that was best friends with James Charles, and then they all fell
How do you
out.
only know Zoella?
I just love my British makeup
Your
girl.
vibe is so Zoella. You are really so Zoella.
I
Right.
want her boyfriend or fiance.
Who's her man?
Ralphie?
Ralphie or Alfie or
Alfie.
something.
Alfie.
Yes.
It's just like a sweet boy that's tan and is like, hey.
He was always really hot.
Yeah.
He was always really hot, and she was so tiny.
Yeah.
It's
and
so
he was-
amazing when
he
a
was
guy
so
is hot.
supportive of
Yeah.
like her being like, here's a pink lip gloss.
Yes,
Like,
it's so amazing when like a guy is so hot and a girl is so small.
well, we're always obsessed with like really successful YouTubers with like a hot boyfriend.
Well, they need a gay boyfriend.
that's like supportive of their girl boss girl. And it's like, yeah, men should be that.
Well, it's because like that's the easiest life ever. All you have to do is smile at like her mascara collection, because then literally y'all can go to Mykonos on a brand's dime. Like as long as you just like smile in a selfie for the gram once every month about like, I love her lip scrub, like I love this lip scrub she collabed on, like then you can literally just be flued out to Mykonos.
But some of these men get so insecure. Like I know a couple where one of them is now trying to start a cooking account because the other one has 1 million followers on TikTok, and the way he just like truly now resents his girlfriend in such a deep regard because she's so successful and he can't get anywhere close to it, and now
Right.
she's made her boyfriend her social media manager. It's like the most devastating thing of them all.
Intertwining love and work,
Social
especially
media
in
management.
especially in the internet space, is a treacherous, slippery ass slope.
That's our relationship.
That's why y'all can't fuck. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
That's the
I'm
only
glad we figured
reason.
it out.
Okay, what we did deal.
I guess that was deal.
Yeah, we need
What's deal?
what's your deal?
Oh, that was all of it.
Yeah. Is there anything else that people at home should know before we jump in?
No.
Okay, cool. We've asked you this
I'm sure that's
before,
not
but
true.
now new show.
Girl,
Girl,
what girl are you?
Alana.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Alana, 120%. When I first watched Broad City, though, I was like, I feel like I'm an Abby, but that was in high school when I was more in like on my adorkable shit. But then now that I've like really come into my own, I'm like, no, I was fucking kidding myself. I just wanted to be quiet. Like I'm
Right.
actually fully 120%.
Well, you moved here
Alana.
wanting to be an Abby, and that is so clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I moved here wanting to be an Abby, and then life
Immediately
beat me
crashed
into an Alana, and but now like I
It's
love
all on the
her,
sheet.
and I'm like proudly crazy. I'm proudly
Yeah, I feel like
crazy.
you're really embracing it this time around.
Absolutely.
Which is
Yeah, you
beautiful.
seem legit wise to me. Even
Yeah.
though it's like
You grew.
I
I've
feel like I remember
wizened.
when I met you, I was like, that is a little girl. She is little.
Yeah, I mean, I was at a party when I like first moved here, talking about how excited I was for my future, whatever. And then the guy I was talking to interrupts me and he goes, "How old are you?" And I went, "I'm 19." And he goes, "That's why." And then he just turned around and started talking to somebody else.
Okay.
And I
Sorry,
was
I was
like-
drunk. I just like it's hard for me sometimes.
And I remember after that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, he doesn't want to hear about my dreams and my hopes. And then now,
It's
like,
fucked up.
all this time later, I'm like, oh, yeah.
do we know? And it's like, do we know who it is?
No, I have no idea who the guy was. It was literally just a guy at a fucking party.
Well, they're always upset guys at a party. I
Guys,
don't know what it
guys
is.
show up to the party upset, as a
And are so
motherfucker.
And
pissed
then
off.
when a girl has a dream, like a man will hate that.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Don't you dare be drunk around a man either. It will.
No. He's
Piss
like,
him
you're being so loud. It's like, don't stop my Keela. Don't you dare stifle my Keela
Well, I
vibe.
like when a near teen, like someone who's near the age of teen, is really drunk in a party setting with 20 to 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
It is like really empowering, and it reminds you what youth is all about.
It does, yeah.
I witnessed a girl in full cheetah yesterday be as drunk as one could possibly be. And it's like, okay, that's cool.
In Cheetah.
I was upset when I first saw it.
But then you have to soften to
But then I
it.
softened and I opened my heart up to her cheetah print, and it felt beautiful and awesome.
We
Yeah.
were at an Emerson birthday party last
Someone-
night.
Oh.
Every girl I
Your
met
past.
was like, I went to Emerson. And I'm
Right.
like, yes, I love your kind.
Like an Emerson birthday party, when you accidentally show up to a party and then everybody there is an alum of Emerson College, it gets testy and scary. For me, particularly because I am a proud Emerson dropout, like
Yeah.
I kind of like immediate icicles in my core.
Well, they're
or-
addicted to dating one another.
Oh my god, the Emerson cest is really
Emerson-
wacky.
It's so crazy. Even
Yeah.
when they move here, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't end.
It
It's a
does not
microcosm
end.
of
They
pain.
call it at Emerson like what the like administration calls it, like for like the alumni network is the Emerson Mafia, and I think people just which is like that, which to them that means like asking for connections
Italian
from
and
like
proud.
Emerson, alum who are more successful than you, whatever, getting an internship at like an Emerson alum's company or something. But like Emerson people take the Emerson Mafia thing so literally that they will just keep fucking Emerson students until they're old and gray. It's really sick and twisted. It's like, please just date somebody from Wesleyan. Please date an alum of the new school.
Well,
Like
the
we
thing is,
We
tried
met
to
one girl whose Emerson boyfriend Wesleyan, and I was like, well,
That's
there's-
rare. But the thing
there's
is,
peace.
an Emerson person would want to sleep with a Wesleyan student. A Wesleyan student would never want to sleep with an Emerson person.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That
you
is
never would see
absolutely
it the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What girl are you this week?
It's like I would never want to be Abby in this episode because she's being so horrific and bad. So I'm gonna have to go with Alana because I would make my child gay anytime I babysit.
I actually wrote down why you're Alana
Thank God.
on the subway.
Okay, I'm like, why? I guess. Oh my God.
Evan coffee shop is so down. What
Period, bitch.
What happened to the coffee
Literally
shop?
me at a coffee shop. The
watching
porn.
porn in the coffee shop.
And then there's also, well, it's also the premise. I think this is very me, where Alana calls Abby and is like,
Oh,
meet me at the coffee shop.
that's what
And then
it
they
was.
hang up. They're like,
We're
what
at
coffee
shop
shop?
and what
Where?
time?
Evan is always texting like every group chat, like being like, let's go to Barley. And it's like,
What?
they mean like, let's meet like at Grand Central at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Like, and it's like, and then when we ask follow-up questions, they get annoyed if we call and we're like, what did you mean by that text? They're like, why didn't you
Well, if
know?
you're my dear friend, you should understand me, by the way.
It's like, what are you ever saying? But it's like the fact that Abby hung up and was like, what coffee
Well, at least I'm the
shop
one making the
wins?
plans. Okay. Other people would never put a plan out there. Okay, it's maybe confusing and contrived, but I'm at least putting a plan out there.
I'm like, where's the party at? You're like, we're getting Thai. It's like, all right.
LOL. Okay, this
How?
week, I think you're actually an Abby, but not the negative parts.
I think I'm Abby this week mainly.
Or you're Brooke Soto.
Is that the girl, the blonde mom?
No, the woman at Beacon's Closet.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't get there. I think I'm Abby because you know how the maintenance closet, she made an office.
Yes.
And it like has her own photos. This is like when I was living at home during COVID and my parents had me staying in the attic and I like hung up a bunch of like photos from high school and
You're
like
so
a
Anne.
vision
Right.
board and was like, oh yeah, this is my room now.
Who had your room?
I don't have a room at my parents' house.
I don't have a one either. I sleep on the
They-
couch.
Yeah.
I sleep on the
Well,
sofa.
you now have a guest cottage.
Well, okay, so
You did upgrade to guest cottage.
for so long, there's like a little like pool house in the back, but my brother who's in law school always got to stay in it because he's a guy in law school and like he has serious stuff, so he needs a room.
Sorry, editing podcasts is pretty serious.
It's serious.
And then this Christmas, I literally like in November texted the family group chat and I was like, I'm staying in the pool house this Christmas. Like I work hard and I deserve a bed. And then they literally finally bought a bed for the attic. But, like,
What were you sleeping on in the attic before?
like a messed up mattress. But then
I'm always like, why don't you feel welcome in your house, Amelia? You're being crazy.
They've Cinderella'd you.
They did,
It's
but
Harry
you know what?
Potter.
I probably created that because Cinderella's always been my favorite princess. And when like
You
Sam
She was a slave.
when
She was a Hebrew slave.
when Sam Montgomery lived in the attic in a Cinderella story and Fiona was like her evil stepmom,
The woman with blonde hair and blue eyes was a Hebrew slave.
I was like, wait, I literally feel like
Cinderella is based on the story of Anne Frank. It's based on the Diary of Anne Frank.
I had no
Wait,
idea.
what?
I'm fucking with you right now.
I was like, teach us, girl, teach
I mean,
us.
she's a
No.
lesbian as well. That
Yeah,
is so
they're,
cool.
they're both
And her dad took
lesbians.
that
They're
out.
both discovering masturbation, and they both died in a really horrible way of typhus.
It's so sad when books are like that.
Literally
So when they're
bitch.
true, yeah.
When it's like Anne style.
When books are autobiog as hell.
I hate that.
It always ends with like a woman's life ending prematurely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of women's stories.
Bitches
That
be
is-
dying. It's
Bitches
true.
be
It's
dying.
really true.
Let's cut to our first
That
break.
is the
And
premise
then
of Substack.
bitches be dying on
Dying.
Substack. And by that, it's like their
My-
boyfriend that's sick chronically.
My Substack does give like the last thing that like a wife writes to her husband in a movie before she passes, before the montage of photos. Like, My Substack, everything I post is like it could read. Like if you put that in a bottle and throw it out to sea, and then somebody found it in 200 years, they'd be like, right after she wrote this, she died.
It was like the final letter.
Yes, it's giving final letter.
I actually have that on my phone because I thought one time my appendix was gonna burst when I was in Barcelona. So I wrote all my friends' death notes, and then I got there and I just had food poisoning.
That checks out.
But by the way, I didn't write any of my family death notes, just girls that were popular in my high school.
Right. And Sandy, I'll miss the way that your balayage bounces down the hallways most of all.
Well, if you want to die, if you're gonna die, you hope the popular girls remember you because that's the only way your legacy lives.
They'll go to your funeral and they'll post it on Snapchat stories and they'll be like, "Everybody, come out for Evan! Like, we really need to like rally the troops for Evan."
Well, unpopular girls would never get people to attend my funeral.
Right.
If Lululemon girls don't show up to your funeral, like
You're
did
dying.
you even die?
Yeah.
Did you even really die?
That's fucked up.
Okay, now we're gonna cut to our first break.
And we're back. Evan was drugged as a child, apparently. The broad and the butter of this episode. Oh, okay.
Well, if we just talk about the initial scene of Abby trying to get a simple job of being a bouncer at a bar, which is almost anyone could have. And it's not even a bouncer, it's just putting wristbands on people's wrists.
So fire.
It's so interesting because right now we are living in like a real inflation of baristas in New York City, and you truly have to medal at the barista Olympics in order to get a job here.
It's impossible to get any sort of like menial job in New York. When I first moved here, I applied for like fucking 50 like random ass fuck jobs and like could not get a single call back from any of them. Like you have to follow up, you have to call, you have to email, you have to fucking
be a
hound
coder
them
to be a barista.
Yes, you have to fucking hound them. Every job requires like a college degree or like a certain amount of like prerequisites or training. It's fucking crazy. And
they're
it's
so
fucked
mad
up.
if you don't have like 5 years of barista experience and you're like, what the hell? I can make a coffee.
And someone can smile all day, it's like put them in.
Yeah.
That's really the biggest part of being a barista.
If you can pronounce thank you, if you can pronounce hi, welcome, you should be in.
Let them be
say,
employed.
for me, a barista, the best part is like when they kind of know you.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just like that's home, that's family.
When they're like, mocha frappa latte. Mocha frappa latte for you today?
I love when they're like, oh, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
They always say that to you. It doesn't
right.
matter if they know you or not.
It is like, do you guys ever feel like you can tell they don't want to have to perform like the job for you, so you just like go quick and like nonchalantly rather than trying to engage with them because they actually don't want to do the small talk
No,
thing?
of course.
I love like gauging like do what they love. If I asked like what the new milk brand is,
No, you have to match their freak, definitely.
Yeah.
If the vibe is like, second I hit my 10-minute break, I'm killing myself, then like you can't be like, I'm deciding between chocolate drizzle or hazelnut scoop. What do you think?
Which is interesting because when I go to Culver Chipotle, I try to flirt with the employees as heavy as possible just to get extra hummus.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you just have to gauge. It doesn't always depend. Like if a Trader Joe's employee, you try to get 20% off for
Right.
family and friends. So you will ask
I
them
didn't know
about their
about
niche
that.
interests.
Oh my
I try to
gosh.
always get it. Like the other day, I let a 55-year-old man talk to me for 30 minutes. The line is collecting behind us about the avian flu.
They will talk.
And he gave me 20% off. Yeah, they'll talk.
You got 20% off for sitting through an avian flu discussion?
lecture.
Wow.
I would have just paid the 20.
He opened up his iPhone. Like that's how deep we went.
Oh my god.
it's
I would have
beautiful.
been so mad in the store if I wasn't you. Like if I was behind you in line, I would have started throwing the fucking like
Paddle 18, let's go.
I know. I would have like opened my bag of like hummus and chocolate hummus covered like bran pretzels, and I would have fucking thrown them across. My Trader Giotto's fucking Parmesan cream coffee creamer, and I would have like dumped it on
Oh
the
my
floor, and I'd be like,
God.
"This is what you did to me."
It is like the more time you spend in a Trader Joe's, the funnier it gets.
The food is absurd.
The food is absurd.
Well, it's not food, it's snacks.
It's snacks.
Bro, I do all my grocery shopping
The Trader
there.
Joe's in Williamsburg moved their frozen berries to a different section, and it like changed the entire energy of the store. Like,
Because everybody's like, "Oh!"
literally, like everybody's like going to get their berries, and it's like, what do you mean this is a souffle? Like, what's
You know
going
what they're
on?
selling? What I saw on
Literally.
Instagram at Trader Joe's, they're selling now, and I need to go pick my ass up some. I haven't been in Trader Joe's in fucking months. There's none near me, but like, they're selling like artichoke bottoms and stems like in a bag, so you can just like microwave the
parts.
best part of the artichoke.
Well, Trader Joe's is very Broad City coded, I
They're
think.
clever.
They're
They're
very
really
clever.
quirky and clever.
It's honestly in the same way these girls are.
Yeah.
Like they both are obsessed with puns. They have an absurd branding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of an amazing parallel.
The cold open of this episode where Alana puts the Latina earrings in.
Oh my God.
Needle
I
drop.
immediately was like, fuck, that's something I would fucking
do you know the name of the theme song?
The name of the Broad City
for
theme
Broad
song?
theme song.
It's called Latino and Proud.
Yes! Like, okay, Alana's Jewish ass putting on a pair of bamboo earrings that say Latina through the middle, frosty, like, skyly blue lipstick
Legit.
to masturbate. Because the thing about masturbating is sometimes you have to create conditions that are so specific for it even to get through to you.
Her tall mirror being sideways elevated above her.
Her being
So
a mirror jerker,
specific.
Alana being a mirror jerker is where she and I deviate, because if I were faced with having to masturbate in front of a mirror, I don't even think I would be able
Is she
to
autosexual?
Well, she just fucked Alia Shawkat in the last ep,
Right.
So
So
maybe
next
she's
up,
autosexual.
She might be autosexual, but like if I were faced with having to oh my God, this was like a traumatizing moment when like the hot new girlfriend of a guy who I was obsessed with, who like rejected the fuck out of me, told me that like maybe my confidence would be higher if I masturbated in front of a mirror like her. And I was like, well, you and I don't look the same. I was like, you and I don't look the same.
That is
And my
insane.
vagina-
back to receipt.
My vagina doesn't, one, photograph well, or two, look good IRL either. And so I don't want to be faced with it in a fucking reflection of a mirror. And I don't want my hands down there. It's not going to look like masturbation. It's going to look like surgery. If I were to masturbate in front of a mirror, it would look like surgery. Surgery.
Oh, the way people like to talk to you is really interesting.
Really interesting, right? It's crazy.
What the hell?
It's crazy.
I'm like, you need to set a boundary with one boy.
I know. But like fucking Alana.
But they are so mean to you.
They're so mean to me. Alana mirror jerking in this. I mean, this is a question I often ask people, mostly men, is like, are you a mirror jerker or not? And I started asking this in college because like I found out that a friend of mine in college was a mirror jerker. And then immediately I was like, oh, that says so much about like a man's pathology if like he's jerks off in front of a mirror, if he can't even bear to look or whatever, if he looks down or whatever. Like it says a lot about your personality and what your like instincts are. And so I started asking that, but I feel like I need to inquire that towards women more often because like I don't know, Alana opened my mind about this, like, oh, women can be mirror jerkers, but it's a little more finicky if you're a woman. Like I mean, the way she's like has the mirror set up like two things on either side stacked on top so she can lay under it and like the mirror can face her body.
Well, the
and
angles are different.
The angles are really crazy.
It's almost like dentist. Like you need one of those things.
It's very dental. It's very dental tools. Yeah, it's very dental tools. But like, I mean, but the second like I pressed play on the episode and she was putting in those fucking Latina earrings to masturbate, I was like, fuck, like that's so me, because really I have to like convince myself I'm like half Mexican in order to be able to get anything done. Like I really, in order to like go about my day, I have to be like, you're a beautiful like Mexican woman. I'm fully not. I'm 120% Jewish. But like I have to convince myself that like I have something else going on,
Right.
or else like I'm just a husk. Like I'm just walking around being like, fuck, I'm just some fucking dumbass white bitch. White woman is lower than dog. Like, so I really resonate with Alana.
Oh
and the thing
my
is, like,
God.
I was talking about this with my friend. I was talking about this with my friend today, where like Alana Glazer and Alana Wexler as the character, like definitely like she probably like really acts this way and like has this kind of personality and like has the instinct to wear the bamboo earrings and have the acrylic nails or whatever, because like with as a Jewish girl with curly hair, she was probably asked at a young age like, so your hair's curly, what are you? And then she was like, oh, I can just tell people I'm biracial. So like that's kind of her
Right. It's very
shtick.
Mindy Kaling's brother applying to Harvard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of her
He
shtick.
applied as black.
Yeah. It's very much that where somebody's like, so what are you? And you're like, oh, that means I'm a black person. And so like Alana Glazer, very much like beauty queen, love her, met her at the Honora premiere. She was really sweet. But her vibe very much is like somebody asked her in her formative years,
Right.
like, are you black? And then she was like, I can just be black, which is awesome for her. But also she can be Latina. And also when it's convenient, she can be Jewish.
Right.
But
And
she could never be Asian.
She can do it all. She can do it all.
I'm really glad we established that on the pod. Thank God. It has been one of our burning questions. Yeah, it is they do a lot of Latino appropriation.
I mean, I feel like
They are Latino proud.
they are Latino proud. I feel like, I mean, I've been guilty of this, but like there's definitely something about like living in Brooklyn or Queens, like at a certain point as a woman in your 20s where you're just like, I'm in El Barrio. Like, you're like, and it's like, no, girl, you're in your neighborhood. Like, I'm in the barrio. Like, I have to kind of look around like my disgusting neighborhood and be like, I'm just like in the heights. Like, it's just like, I'm in the barrio. Like, I just like,
You have to
know,
romanticize.
I have to romanticize it Mexicanly or else like I will crash the fuck out.
Jesus.
No, hey, that makes some sense.
But Alana,
And you just came from Equinox. Really beautiful stuff going on.
but Alana, Miss Alana, I'm
Validated.
pointing for the fans. This is her, Miss Alana. She gets it. Also, but the lipstick that she puts on, the like vomit blue, like
Cerulean, really.
cerulean boots, like that cerulean frosty lipstick to masturbate is so crazy.
It is kind of radical feminist vibes. This
for-
cold
yeah, it
open
really
because
is.
it's like
Yes.
I remember watching this in high school and being like, I didn't even know girls could do this.
Yeah, it kind of like is like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, diva.
Well, masturbation can be more intimate than sex.
So,
Or
but
I'm
not
feeling-
not the way I do it. Not the way I do it. The way I do it is it's almost like I'm fucking somebody that's
Yeah.
passed out. Like
Oh, Jesus.
when I masturbate, it's like again, it's like surgery.
medical,
It's like
right?
it's literally it's entirely clinical. It's a preventative measure. Like I masturbate so that like I don't get in a fight with somebody at a bar. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
I masturbate so that I don't scare people
It's
by sitting
preventative
weird.
healthcare.
Yeah, I masturbate so I don't like scare people by sitting weird on the train while I'm trying to hump the seam of my jeans. Like it's preventative healthcare. It's medicinal. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you're the horniest girl alive.
Not even like really. The thing
That's
is like
Sabrina.
that's Sabrina Carpenter. The thing of it about masturbating for me is it is clinical, and so I do appreciate the representation of like Alana really like going through like the fucking hubbub of like making it like a perfect situation because like I don't know, like I think about that scene in Girls where Marnie just like closes the door after talking to Booth Jonathan and she's like leaning up against the door in that art gallery and she just starts masturbating and then she immediately comes and it's like that's a crazy scenario.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
some of us actually have to like
Put in the work.
put in the fucking work to even get our bodies and brains to align in any way. Like I have to
Right.
be on like a high dose of medication in order for my body and my brain to be synergized at all. And then outside of that, the masturbatory conditions have to be perfect.
Okay, so it's not easy to
Absolutely.
come.
It's well, once that machine gets going,
Right.
it's easy, but it's gonna take. Like, it has to be quiet as like you could hear a pin drop.
Do we think Alana did finish after watching her friend's coworker do porn?
No.
No.
Actually,
You don't
I
think?
think she like was so on a mission at that point. Like I think she's a very one-track minded kind of girl. Like she really loves to fulfill a quest. And so I think once she saw
that she immediately was like, my friend who has been struggling with her job
Yes.
and wants to be like represented like in the workplace in a better way, like this is her saving grace.
When we
Yes.
think about the first scene in All Abroad City, it's based around masturbation. It's like for Alana, it is so casual, but Abby has to plan it all.
yeah.
It is just interesting to see them both get to experiment with masturbation in a cold open.
What I also
Absolutely.
love
Yeah.
is later in the episode
duality.
when Alana tells Abby at the coffee shop, like, look what I found, and she has to retrace her porn steps. You remember that part where
Yes.
she's like, and then, you know,
She's
Abby's
like
trying to spark her memory. Solo masturbation.
because she's like her impersonation of like all other porn
Where
is
she's like,
so funny.
I'm a little girl and I'm a big man. Which is so fucking true. And oftentimes the solo stuff is better because there's something about the solo stuff that feels sort of like doing it for the love of the game.
Right.
Because like when somebody else is there, it's like my thought always goes to is one of these people like didn't want to come into work today, or one of these people, you know, is more eager to do this than the other. Or, like, you know, when like you and your coworker have like different emotions on the, you know, on the shift.
Absolutely.
But like if it's just one person, it's like either way, it's like you got yourself up out of bed and you started jerking off and you set that tripod up.
Like
and
you set the tripod up is what brings me comfort.
Yeah, it's like you were in it.
Oh my god, she totally would do iPhone to screen projector on her computer today.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think she'd use a mirror.
Yeah.
I think that's dated technology.
That is dated.
Yeah, for real. I do think it's very interesting that they invoked the idea of everyone watching porn inside a coffee shop because
So
that's not
funny.
happening in a coffee shop, but in a New York public library, that is absolutely
happening. They should have met at the library,
Right.
but it's so funny to do it in a coffee shop.
The woman looking over like suspiciously.
So fucking funny.
But I do love that Abby's like, I've always just Googled the word porn.
Well, by the way, that's actually become illegal since this show's come out because they've actually made it, you actually have to be really specific with your porn searches now because porn came up so easily on the internet through SEO. So since this show came out, there's been new laws introduced. You have to be as specific as you can when you type in porn.
Wow.
So children can't find it.
Wow.
Because before it, you could just
some kids know about butt fucking brother sister, washing machine, cartwheel left and right, up and down, titty twisters.
Yeah, and like my 13-year-old sister has been on Reddit since she was
so easy to
5.
get
Like I
porn.
think she could figure some stuff
Oh,
out.
I feel scared for her.
It is so fucked up what's happening to the kids born in 2012.
They're
Like,
cooked. They're fucking cooked.
they're done.
Oh, poor baby.
Happy birthday, Soph.
Happy birthday. So, is today her 13th birthday?
She turned 13 this week.
Oh my god, it's so hard.
I hope
to
she
be
listens so she can learn about masturbation and porn.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I hope
That's
she
so cool.
doesn't. I hope she never takes a single piece of advice from me. She will end up with her fucking feet sticking out of a ditch like the Wicked Witch of the East.
Millions of teens
She's
have taken advice
identifying
from
as
you.
an asexual lesbian right now, so I think she's on the right path. You know
I know
what I mean?
so many teens with Hampton homes that love you.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I know teens with Hampton homes that you're their favorite comedian.
That's crazy. That's
That's
so
awesome.
funny. Because it's like, we did not come from the same place. You came from the Hamptons. Bitch, I came from the streets of West Hollywood, bitch.
I do love talking to like a well-adjusted like millennial gay guy, and they're like, "I love that girl Ivy on Twitter." And it's like, Hunter, what do you mean? It's like you work in accounting,
Right. It's like you log on to Slack every morning.
Right.
Literally.
Like, I have to cut myself some slack so I don't
Right,
fucking
right.
hang myself from the rafters. Yeah.
Well, that's the power of a liberal arts credit. It's like you
So
need a few
true.
of those so you can understand Twitter comedy.
So fucking
Absolutely.
yeah,
true.
it opens up your
So
brain. Thank God they
So
have
fucking
gen
true.
eds.
Okay, let's talk about Trey.
Oh,
I know. I do feel this storyline does not progress so well in today's current zeitgeist.
I don't think they would write the
No,
Kirk
they
Steele thing
absolutely
because
not.
the whole thing of like, oh my god, you're gonna like stick it to the man. It's like now they would be like, sex work is valid.
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
they
just like
absolutely would.
the sexually blackmailing of a coworker is so funny.
yeah.
Especially because
I love that they
Abby-
just go for it.
Yeah, especially because Abby is kind of such a more rational, like diminutive character, and then her instinct being like, no, like all of a sudden I need to step my pussy up and sexually blackmail my boss.
And she's like sitting on the exercise machine and she's like, I don't think I need to clean up the bloody shit. Actually, Kirk. And it's like, yes, girl.
Well, there's a lot of duality of conversation around sex workers in this episode because there's also a scene where they reference Pretty Woman when they bring the clothing back to Beacon's closet, the expensive mother's clothing. They're like, do you work on commission? Big mistake, huge mistake, which is, of course, a conversation around like, how do we like talk about an empowered sex worker? And then they immediately go behind, they like blackmailed Trey with his own sex work.
Right.
It's just
I love that
beautiful to
Trey
watch.
does more sex work. Like he's currently Kirk Steele to make $700.
I don't even know if I'd call that sex work though,
right.
because does he ever show Hall?
Well, we
don't
see
know.
in the
We don't know.
credits. We see in the credits he is like his dick is out. It's blurred, but
Oh yeah,
It's
right,
blurred.
right.
He's
But
like
doing a
humping the
comical,
whale.
right?
he's humping the whale. He's jerking off.
It's
he's
more
like,
performance art, I'd
It's
say.
Emmy-
Emmy
performance art.
winning Paul W. Down.
Love him.
And it's directed by Lucia this up. So
Yeah.
it's really
He's-
a power couple.
Well, it is beautiful to watch. He's the only hot straight guy who's kind of funny too.
Yeah,
Who's
he's
pretty funny.
he is.
and he's so funny that I thought he was gay.
I
the
thought he
was
entire
gay
time
my
of the
whole
show.
life.
Yeah, and then only like found out when Hacks started that he actually is married to a
I was like,
woman.
oh, they're married. Like that's like the marriage I want. Like where
Yeah.
you marry a gay guy.
Yeah.
And then I found out like no, they are straight.
For real married.
No, I know.
Heterosexuals.
I can't think of another straight guy where I'm like, I really love your comedy in a gay way.
Yeah.
But his work's in a gay way.
His work
He's
is
tapped
absolutely in a
in.
gay way because he cares about women and their voices
It's
so
that
much.
Yeah.
Georgetown thing.
Yeah.
Well, he's the Darren Chris of comedy.
So fucking true. That is so fucking true. Fuck, that's
But
so
we
true.
actually like him.
Paul W.
Yeah.
Downs is a Darren Chris of comedy,
Yeah, he
except we
really
actually
is.
like him.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we like Darren? Oh, I've
Well,
heard some stuff.
Yeah, because he's always queer baiting. It's like you can't wear half dress, half suit kind of thing.
That's so
Right,
crazy.
right.
You can't wear a skirt to the Tonys
Yeah,
and be
please.
like, but I love
Yeah.
pussy.
It's so deeply upsetting.
Yeah.
I know. Well, he actually created a genre of queer baiting, I think, in my mind's eye. And then like we kind of saw every almost gay guy
I
follow
thought
suit.
Harry Styles invented it with that one Vogue cover.
No, Glee invented it.
Wow.
Glee did invent queer baiting so fucking hard.
Can you
so
imagine? I
hard.
watched all seasons of Glee. I had no idea Britney and Santana were dating that whole time.
Then did you watch all the seasons of Glee?
Yeah, I just didn't pick up on that.
You thought they were friends?
What is happening
yeah,
in Texas?
I just didn't really understand. I didn't know that was happening. And then I remember when Naya Rivera died, all these like posts of like she was like the first lesbian I ever saw on TV, and I was like,
lesbian.
I was like, didn't she date Puck? Like, what's going on? Like,
Oh, to be bi.
what?
To be bi.
I thought they were just a straight couple.
Wow.
But that's my bad.
That's incredible.
I call myself a gleek.
You don't. You can't. Huh.
I'll
What's
stop.
crazy about
It's actually
Glee
spitting me off.
is like I did this recently. I looked up like kind of where some of the main cast members on Glee are now. I mean, obviously Darren Criss is doing very
Podcasting.
well. Obviously Leah Michelle is doing well. But like you look up the people from like Heather Morris, fucking Chris Colfer writes books now.
No, queer teen
Whoa.
books.
He writes queer teen books, and I read a lot
Someone
of them
needed
when
to do
I was in
that.
middle school. They're quite good.
And people forget about Struck by Lightning, which was a great independent film.
Past guest of the
Clock
pod,
that fucking tea.
Connor Janda has an amazing joke about how the entire cast of Glee died.
Technically, yeah,
Yeah.
because really, like, nobody has a career. Like, there's literally
Wait,
two
but
or
Leah
three
Michelle.
people. Leah Michelle, Darren Criss is doing
Leah
well.
did not get Wicked. She's over.
I don't think she's over.
She's not over.
She
Leah's
did a
not
really good
over.
job in Funny Girl.
She's great in Funny
Yeah.
Girl, and she's like, you know,
Nice.
Leah's fine, but like Darren's doing great, but like, you know, largely, like I looked up Heather Morris's IMDb, and I was like, oh, this woman's doing butt fuck nothing.
It's really hard. I'm watching Suits now. Only Meghan Markle has actually made a career afterwards. It's not even in acting. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've
Right.
all have fallen off from that show, but she had to become a princess in order to get seen on TV
But
again.
I feel like, I mean,
Brutal.
people
Brutal.
nowadays probably work more after doing a show like that because like the money is so different than it was then. Like on Glee, they were probably making so much fucking money that you can actually, if you saved, you could afford to never work again after being
Yeah.
a series regular on like a 7-season Fox show like that.
Yeah.
Now it's like if your show is lucky enough to get more than
4
3
episodes.
seasons, like then you have to keep working after that constantly. And you have to get on your phone and do stuff on your phone. Like you need a fucking podcast. You need brand deals on top of being an actor. You need to get a producing credit on something just to like make enough money that somebody would have being a recurring character
Yeah.
for 2 seasons on Suits 15 years ago.
It's so crazy. You can sustain a whole lifestyle for being a character actress for 3 episodes on Suits.
Yeah.
A
And
whole
now,
life.
not at all.
It's
Not
devastating.
at all.
We also forget that Glee had the most number ones out of any artist on Earth until last year. I think Taylor Swift just passed them.
What? Like
But
the Glee
last-
cast
the Glee
recordings?
cast had more iTunes number ones than any artist on Earth.
Well, Glee also came out right at iTunes peak with
It
the
did.
iPod
It
Touch.
did,
Like we
it
were really
did.
in that 99 cents to
But the
129
charts never
era.
ended, Amelia. The charts never ended.
The charts haven't ended. We have to
No,
remember that.
yeah.
Fuck. Glee was like, I feel like Glee only now culturally kind of holds water as something we reflect on and like kind of
Yeah.
laugh at, of like, you know, fucking Artie being pushed into the pool on his wheelchair during like a musical number, like just like moments of
We
absurdity.
took it so seriously.
Yeah, so I was like, Glee had me fucking devastated. Like when Rachel didn't get into fucking Nyada, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, like she's speaking for all of us.
Well,
And
because it
she's so good
re-triggers
at
the pain of Sharpay not getting into Juilliard.
Right.
It's the same wound.
Right.
It just reopened
It's
all
the
over
same,
again.
Yeah, same wound.
Tear.
It's terror.
Opening my
It's
stitches.
wear and tear.
But like Glee, I feel like did not really push the needle of like the television arts too much. I mean, maybe in terms of like diversity and
I
things
think
like that,
I
but
understand why you're saying that, but I actually hard disagree.
you think Glee was greatly
'Cause,
influential.
I mean, Amelia didn't even pick up on this, but it was the first time we saw gay people.
Well, I think in terms of
Yeah,
diversity,
yeah.
absolutely. But I think like the actual, like we're not doing musical television shows anymore.
Well, yeah, we lost. Well, if you
We
remember,
tried to do
Smash came out.
Smash.
Yeah,
We tried to do Smash. Well, now they're making Smash into an actual like
I heard about
stage
this.
show. But like, you know, there was a period in time where like the musical television show was a big fucking deal. Even the musical episode of a show was like
the Grey's Anatomy musical episode like changed
the Buffy
lives.
musical episode. Like these things were big fucking event, but like event television is not really like appointment event television. It exists with HBO.
It's
now.
like White Lotus has taken 4 years to come out with a new
Right.
season.
Euphoria is just now having their third season made. I mean, Euphoria season 2 was like, that was a real big thing where it was kind of a
Yeah.
monocultural thing where everybody was like 8 p.m. on HBO, we sit in front of the computer or the TV and we
Yeah.
watch this and we talk about it. That used to be most
Every
shows.
show.
Yeah,
Ugh, it's me,
It's,
and my parents
uh,
watching Euphoria.
right. And
I'll
now
never
it's
get
just
that
like
back.
one or two, like Succession was big. Now it's like there's like a handful of shows
I
that
know.
everybody monoculturally gives a fuck about. And Glee used to be one of those, but now, and so like the kind of the big spectacle of like a musical television show was just, we just don't have like, there's the
We don't have that.
infrastructure.
We don't even have like the Halloween episodes of The Office,
Right.
or like the Christmas episodes of the Parks
Yeah.
and
Because
Rec. Like
literally
it's,
nobody gives a shit anymore.
No,
Because
it's
television
over.
is not an event. Like the infrastructure of the way people watch television and make television, it's just like not an event. There's so much TV. There is so much TV. I think like my dad told me that like this past year there was like something like 130 scripted television shows
Oh my God.
that came out. And like that's not
God.
even how
And they're all bad.
and nobody's even heard of half of them because there's a million streamers. It's
Yeah.
also like fractalized and like segmented, and there's just like there's so many things. Most of it you have to pay for because people aren't doing cable anymore, and so you have to pay for fucking MGM Plus or whatever, which was Epix, and then now it's MGM Plus, and fucking CBS was Paramount, and da da
it's
da.
sick.
You have to keep track of all of this shit, and all of it costs money, and people are just like not interested.
Well, people aren't even watching shows that are on TV anymore.
Right.
We're just watching reruns because also it's the kind of thing where it's like you used to be able to sit down and be like, all my friends are trying this new show that's out.
Yeah.
But now there's 300 shows and everybody's picked a different one. So now it's like, oh, like I'm watching Selling the City and I'm
I was
I'm
about to
ready to
ask you were
talk about
watching.
it and nobody wants to talk about it with me. And I'm like,
I
well,
saw
this
the
is
first
fucking,
episode. It's bad.
it's amazing.
It's not the same as Selling Sunset.
It's the best show I've ever seen.
Okay, I'll watch it.
The Netflix reality like genre is something that I have not fully immersed myself in, and I know I must.
Never cared, but this show is about female friendship. It's about girl boss. It's about like being so alpha and cutthroat, but also trying to be a sisterhood in
yeah.
a way that's like really speaking to
Real
me.
Housewives is something that I have yet to actually really get into. I've seen
Really?
a lot of it here and there, but
Yeah.
I've never actually sat down and been like, I'm gonna understand Brandy Glanville's whole thing. You know?
Right.
And that's like a big goal of mine, honestly, for this year is to really, because I know it'll open me up so much, and
I
it'll
have the same thing written down because I've never watched any of them, and I know that it's about me.
But we live
Yeah.
in a universe where there's a binary of between people watching scripted TV or reality TV, but it's hard to find someone who's being bi for both.
Right.
Like you're not. People really
is
commit to their
true.
craft,
That's
and then
so
they won't
true.
kind of.
You're either
ex-
Love Island
yeah.
or you love
and not. Yeah, say it, girl.
Island.
Love
Lost. Yeah.
Okay, we gotta cut to our second break, but when we get back, we'll finish discussing Kirk Steele.
We'll start discussing.
We'll get into it. And we're back. So
What?
Solstice
wait, pause.
Gym.
What?
I wish Gemma, like Darcy's character, was in
Oh.
it.
I think meant Gemma from reality TV.
As somebody who famously now goes to Equinox
Yeah.
and takes all the group
Boots.
fitness classes, I just want everybody at home to know that they don't have kick-ass kettlebell.
Well, they did. You don't understand because everyone in that class was wearing hipster clothing. They're all like wearing circle scarves to throw kettlebells around.
All we have now is like Balabar bangles, like or beyond
Wait, did they rhyme?
Balabar burn. Yeah.
Is Bala Bar
Bar-
like, is that like a ballet
Why
bar?
don't you
It's
give
like-
us workout classes and then we have to guess what the hell they are?
So this morning,
That's half the fun.
this morning I went to Beyond Bala Beyond.
Whatever that could
What
be.
did you have to do?
It was basically like you know those things where you put your foot on it and it skates. like those circles.
I actually have never been to a gym.
every sentence you said got more confusing.
I'm like, oh, you're the one.
It was 2 pound weights, and then we strap little like 2 pound weights over our ankles, and then we use sliders. We use sliders.
Is it like a micro Pilates?
And this gay guy taught it, but he was kind of mean, and he was like wearing an infinity scarf the whole time.
He was wearing an infinity scarf?
Yeah, and
they still have those.
And he kept like and it was a lot of like punching, and then like classic
and that's
like
why you were late.
Pilates. Honestly, the gym was so busy. Also, the thing about Equinox is like somebody is assigned, like a cleaner is assigned to like a shift in the bathroom where it's like they are literally like vacuuming under you, like as
Abby
you're putting on
that.
underwear, and you're like, girl, just like skip this area for now. But it's like they
Poor
can't.
Abby. Well, they're so like sterilized to it.
Yeah, and I'm like, do I really have to like lift my bag?
Well, it's
like,
the same conversation around a barista. It's like let's not be at some point you just like we have to let everything
whatever.
be. Yeah, absolutely.
I need to try an Equinox. Although I think I would flop so hard at any of the classes there.
You need heating first.
Oh yeah, I need heat in my apartment.
Heat in your apartment first. Let's get bed sheets on the bed.
Right.
And then we'll talk
about Equinox and getting a blowout.
yeah.
That's so true.
Well, watching Abby trying to raise money to so in this episode she then
she destroys a
mirror that's $700, and her and Kirk Steele don't have enough money to replace it. So what she has to do is like, how does she generate money?
She needs $800.
$800.
What part of the Chex Mix is the one that she snorted?
Okay, so in
like
this,
the rye crackers.
It's like the fucking
like the rye crackers.
Crisps.
in the episode they quote it as something else, but it is to me the bagel chips.
Yeah, it's like bagel chips, but it's called something else. It's like that brown.
But they're made of rye, I think.
Yeah, they're like rye.
It's the hardest question
like
we've asked all pod.
I think it's the. I think that's
I write it down?
The rye. Did you write it down? What are they called?
I did on my other notes. Oh shit.
To me, it's like those. Well,
those are the best parts.
What's your favorite part of Chex Mix?
The sesame sticks.
Pretzel.
Pretzel? That's
really
the worst.
Dark. But it'd actually be fun if we all split a bag because we all have favorite parts.
Yeah, mine's those little the little white crackers that are like dots.
Oh my god, we really would have fun together. This is kind of awesome.
So
I can't eat Chex anymore since I fell
you're
ill with celiac.
Yeah. Celiac is like the worst thing that can happen.
Share with you, actually.
Right, because then you get everything. But what was interesting to me about this episode is the direction that I thought it would take was because in the maintenance closet, Trey / Kirk Steele asks Abby, she's like, how am I gonna make $700? And he goes, do you have a webcam? And so the route that I thought this episode would take would be
like Abby gets into
doing sex work for like quick cash, but then she does anything else.
I think Hannah would.
Hannah Horvath would put her pussy on the phone for a quick 700. But Abby, what's her last name in the show? Abby Abrams would not do that.
I bet Alana would.
Alana absolutely fucking would in a heartbeat.
What killed me was Trey kept being like, can I just go down on you? Can I just go down on you? I'll just go down on you. Please don't make me let you teach the class.
Like, that's crazy.
Which is like so foreshadowing season 4 or whatever. When they like hook up.
Yeah.
So
I love this show. Is amazing. I don't even know if they're doing it on purpose, but they're amazing at doing foreshadowing.
They're also amazing at callbacks. Like in this episode, so this is the episode where Alana babysits the little gay boy and goes
so awesome.
And like it's like the second time in the series where Alana's at work and calls Abby and then ends the call, and the person that's hired her for the job is like, she's like, sorry about that, and I had to answer
that call.
And she's like, you made that in the middle of my sentence. Like,
Alana and the gay boy. I mean, this is where the famous
Yas Queen
meme
came from.
Yeah.
Like, that was a kind of a cultural touchstone. That was a gif you would see on a Jezebel article, a BuzzFeed listicle.
We gotta get that boy on the couch.
Yeah. Oh my god. How old do you think he must be now?
He must be like 18 now.
Probably.
Oh
It's been like 10 years.
Oh my god, that's so true. And the great Amy Ryan plays his mom.
She's so gorgeous. It's crazy.
So
gooped out. I love her.
Gooped the hell out.
Boots. Like, yeah, but the relationship between Alana and the gay boy is really sweet and really special.
Well, do you know one person babysitting in Brooklyn currently that the kid's not gay?
Who?
No, I don't know a single person who's a babysitter and a kid's not gay
Every
or non-binary.
single guy I know that's a nanny right now is nannying an 8-year-old gay boy.
There's no one that's not gay. All these children in Brooklyn are gay, non-binary.
Even your sister is asexual lesbian.
Literally.
Yeah.
And
It's
she's
actually
like
crazy.
basic blondes. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
so awesome. It's so actually, I think it's so cool for her to be 13 years old, basic, blonde, blue eyes, like bust down, and then be like, I'm actually asexual and non-binary.
legit.
Or is she non-binary too?
No, but
Just lesbian.
It's still early days.
It's
you know?
still early days. I'm waiting.
Yeah. I love it. She invented pink goth. Like there's goth, but then she
Pink
made it like
goth?
pink goth.
That's so.
She didn't invent
cool.
that, by the way.
Oh,
As long as we know goth, we know pink goth.
to me, she invented it, and like the section of pink goth opened up in Hot Topic just for her.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. But that's so cool.
So then Abby is trying to raise money throughout this episode. So she heads to Beacon's closet, which is an experience we all have. And it is so cool for her to walk in with her janky clothing that no one cares about. And then the second time she goes back with the clothing for the mother, who's like,
So
should I give it to the
awesome.
horses or should I give it to the
horses-
homeless?
I love the joke where it's like she's like, the horses get cold in winter. But I guess that could happen to humans too. Because it is like the thing where rich people care more about a dog than a human
Well,
life.
the
They
way
love
they walked into
animals.
Beacon's closet is the same way I've seen Ella Emhoff walk into Beacon's closet. It's the same amount of swagger. Like they know they're gonna walk out with so much money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But like the great Kimiko Glenn playing
Literally.
She
the
ate
Beacon-
that roll up
She
in her
ate that
Forever
roll up.
21
Well, I'm
tank.
By
the
the way-
the purple lipstick.
Well, that is like what they took Brooke Soto off of. Like they brought that person right to Linfield Penitentiary.
Right.
That same
Your
character.
next review show should be Orange is the New Black.
People would love that from us.
I actually wrote for you guys being like, so I just think
We're
like
Latina now, and
Yeah,
we're going to talk about Orange
We're
is the
like
Black.
we're recording remotely in Westchester
Yeah.
right now.
I
and we
think
just
it would
wanna
be
get into
awesome
it.
for you guys to be like, so prison rape is
Right.
actually a really big problem with women too.
We only talk about Piper the whole time.
Yeah, you're like police brutality actually is something I can really personally speak to because
Right.
of something that happened to me on the way to my blowout bar class.
Girl, what girl am I? This one. It's
Girl,
like-
what girl am I? Just Piper. We're just going to be talking about Piper today.
Every time.
Every single time. What's Piper thinking? What's Piper eating?
I'm like, can we pathologize Piper?
Oh,
She's
God.
been through a lot.
She has.
Yeah.
We can't.
No.
You
No, no,
actually,
no.
I take it so back. Don't do Orange is the New
No.
Black.
No.
Please.
There's only 4 shows we could possibly do on this earth.
What are the other ones?
Like Sex in the City and like
The thing is, we should probably do Sex in the City.
the way I thought we should never do that, but then everybody is like, "Why are you doing Broad City? You should be doing Sex in the City."
I feel like doing a set, but people don't do a Broad City show. I mean, you guys were the first
Literally.
girls rewatch show.
There's a million Sex in the City, but no one's done Sex in the City from Brooklyn.
You guys should do Two Broke Girls.
I
oh,
know,
I would
but-
love to, but I've never seen it.
It's
I
kind
was a
of
religious
boots. I've
watcher.
watched it only in YouTube Shorts, like increments, and actually,
You're
I
on
really
YouTube
like.
Shorts?
Yes, bitch.
Oh my god, we're
We
trying to
found
get to
that-
the
we
bottom
found the
of
person on
who's
YouTube
on
Shorts. We
It's
found-
it's Ivy Wolk.
I
Well,
don't
you're banned
fucking
from every
play.
other platform.
I know, but I don't fucking play about my YouTube Shorts. Like, I will sit in front of the phone drooling, gooning for YouTube Shorts
Oh
for
my
like
God.
You
hours
need to
at a
put your
time.
comforter on.
I know.
We've been uploading all our TikToks to YouTube Shorts for the podcast, and we're like, no one's seeing this, but it's like we're doing it for you now.
I am audience of one. Like, I'm there, I'm clapping in the back of the theater.
YouTube
but, like,
Shorts, like
Well, Two Broke Girls is misogynistic, and that's why it plays well on YouTube
well, because
Shorts.
Whitney Cummings
Yeah.
wrote it. Because Whitney fucking Cummings wrote
Did
it. She? Yeah, Whitney Cummings created and wrote Two Broke Girls.
I had no idea. You know, I listened to
She's so
Whitney Cummings'
successful.
audiobook in college and was like, this is the most radical feminist there is.
Yeah, she's a sociopath. She's like, Whitney Cummings is like the kind of feminist where she's like, if you have to kill another woman, if you have to push her onto the third rail so that you can get to that production meeting, do
it. Which I think it's cool to remember that the women in other generations have different experiences, and maybe if I was raised in their environment, I would
Oh, no.
be like that.
I understand exactly why she is.
But
Like,
it is like cool that there's people her age that have kind of thought about how the world shifted and have adapted
I
to
respect
that.
her so immensely.
I'm worried about some of her choices.
Oh, absolutely. But that's why I respect her. because
Got it.
she's willing to take the crazy choice.
She is so crazy.
I just like that Amy Poehler's like saying bye to TikTok. She's like, you guys have been so fun and made me smile so much, and I love that I found this app.
She posted the app down.
And everybody in the comments is like, yes, Amy, we love you, girl. It's like, that's
so
so Gen X
amazing
queen.
that Amy Poehler really is so universally revered.
She really has no haters.
She has no haters, which is like a rare feat for a female comedian from any gender. I mean, I feel like Joan Rivers now is sort of like sanctified, but like at the time she was not, and people were, very mean to her, and then she was mean right back.
You know what the expression is? Funny is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like Amy Poehler's funny, Joan Rivers is funny.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
Well, Tina Fey is funny, and people love to be mad at her.
People love to be mad at her.
Because her jokes go over their head.
Yes.
The thing is,
they're
Amy
intimidated.
Poehler is like, she's writing jokes for everyone.
For everybody.
Tina Fey's going a little bit more specific.
Tina Fey is she will really kind of stick the knife in.
She'll do the knife thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll do the knife
She'll do the knife thing.
Classic knife thing.
She'll do the knife thing.
It
Okay,
is so Charlie
wait, we've
XCX.
got to wrap up the episode. Selling clothes in Bushwick.
Okay, so I have an interesting
going
fact.
to Union Square with the
Right.
fruits, the foods that are our favorite celebrities. That was Trader Joe's coded as fuck.
Well, do you know that's
my
actually...
God. She tried to sell art, right?
Yeah, so-
and all of it was Trader Joe's coded.
That is her actual art. That's from her
That's-
Tumblr.
Abby's.
Yeah.
Well, I have Abby's book, Carry This Book, and it's literally that.
Yeah.
But it's for like
Whoa.
presidents and famous people. It's like what their like desk would look like or something.
Whoa.
She has so many lives.
Well, the
So
thing
so
is,
awesome.
Whitney
her parents are painters or artists. So growing
Painters
up,
or artists.
it's like
discern.
like the physical artist
Yeah.
medium. And so her whole life she was like, I guess I'll do that. It's more realistic to like become a visual artist than become like a comedian.
By the way, yeah.
And then she was like, well, I guess like I'd rather be a comedian.
If Whitney Cummings has taught us one thing,
Whitney Cummings.
that it's easier to be a visual painter than a comedian.
Oh, that's what Whitney taught
Yeah.
us. Yeah, you're right.
It is very hard.
But she ends up making the money. She buys her aunt's purse back. We live happily ever after, and Kirk really like makes it happen for himself.
Well, I'm like Beacon's Closet. They created that. They actually put that place on the map because the thing is, when you first move to New York City and you discover Beacon's Closet,
That was the first place I went, by the way, because of this show.
Your reaction is not, oh, here's a cool thrift store in New York City. It's like,
It's
this
what
is my
the
Broad City
fuck,
moment.
right.
Absolutely. Like, you are inside of there. You're like, I'm in a TV show.
Yeah.
I literally like remember going to it for the first time and being like, they shot here. They literally shot in this one.
It is a real Beacon's Closet too, which
Yeah,
I
it's the
think is
Greenpoint
beautiful.
one.
Yeah, it's a Greenpoint location.
I don't think I've ever been to a Beacon's Closet only because I've only ever heard like the clothes are ugly and they're mean to you.
Which is like my two favorite things.
Which is like Evan loves to steal from there or anywhere.
Allegedly.
Yeah, what the hell? I would have a different Evan.
Different Evan. I know
That
different
Evan is
Evans.
so
That's
crazy.
Yes,
My-
Evan too is so crazy.
My other friend Evan that I go to Beacons with. Okay, whatever. I'm over it. Let's ask Ivy.
Wait. Let's just 1 second think if we
Oh.
missed anything. I just want to make sure. Should we talk about the mother anymore? You did have the note of all the restaurants in New York City that she mentions.
Nobu. I'm gonna make it a fuck,
Momofuku.
marry, kill question. So
Okay,
that's gonna be
okay.
awesome.
Sorry, just want to make sure we like close the chapter.
I guess we should have a little bit of a conversation about Alana teaching the young boy about wealth disparity.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, but in her own like deeply misguided way. Like
yeah, they're
being
on
like,
the subway.
you're the deprived one. And then the woman is like, no, I'm actually deprived.
I'm poor. I get the chair.
Yeah. And then Alana's like, of course.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's so funny. The things that Alana did for that boy is like what Ketamine did for me.
Literally.
I will say it opened up my mind in a very similar way.
I love when the student becomes the
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, my mom's clothes are expensive as shit. Take them back to Beacons and you can make bank. And Alana's
So
like,
awesome.
oh my God. What does Alana say? Abby's like, does his parents know you're watching him? And she's like, I am not watching him. I am teaching him because right now he might go to Yale and then Yale Law and then kill a stripper and then settle out in court. And I've got to stop
Which is
that.
the premise of Suits.
Which is the premise of Suits.
It
Does that
is
happen on Suits?
It just feels like it would.
Right.
I will say it is he's also gluten free, so you guys have a lot in common.
Oh my God, the little gay boy's
Oh,
yeah.
gluten-free.
He can't have soy.
He can't have soy and he can't eat a slice ever again.
So if you could just let him hold the $300, he needs to learn.
Well, the thing about holding money, it actually does. There is a chemical to it that actually makes you feel addicted to touching it and holding it. So the truth is there. She's not lying.
Wow.
There's a property to it. I don't know exactly what it is, but money actually has an addicting quality to it.
Wow.
And that's science.
Cream. Cash rules everything around me.
You're referencing a Miley Cyrus song, of course, and not the actual rap.
Right. Yeah. I'm only speaking Miley. You guys should do your next
Miley Cyrus
Radiant on the
rewatch.
Pod is a Miley
Forever.
Cyrus career retrospective.
I have
I'd
so
love
much
to
to
dive
say.
into that girl. She like taught us everything we know, and she's created every pop star we have now.
She's incredible. If you guys did like a Miley Cyrus career retrospective, I would absolutely love to talk about Miley Cyrus and her
I
dead
love
pets.
you. You could talk about anything.
Girl, whatever we
too,
do next, you're coming back.
The way I can speak to literally most things. Even if I'm deeply, because the thing about me is I'm a deeply uneducated person. Like I actually know very little about like the world and politics and science and whatever. But
You say
one thing
things
about
with
me
a tone.
is I will try to speak to everything.
Yeah.
Well, we
and that's
still
why
get
you're here, huh?
notifications constantly on our TikTok of people liking your TikTok from 2 years ago.
Wow.
They love your take on Adam.
Yeah.
I Googled your name once and the photo that came up was a side profile view from the podcast.
Girl, that's why you see why I've been cheating out. You see why I wore this turtleneck and I've been cheating out because they got the chin and they got the nose. They got the chin and they got the nose. That's still one of the first results. If you look me up on Google, it's like a photo of me with my fucked up bangs, manic as
36
fuck,
hours in New York City.
36 hours in no sleep, hunching over like I'm about to throw up in my lap, and like
It doesn't even happen when you look up us. Like it's only a you thing.
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
wonder what that is. What,
It's really
what
fucked
SEO
up.
did we do?
Yeah.
On our
Whatever
poor
it did, it's
girl.
working, and now you
Right.
guys are more famous than ever before. You're stars.
Love it. Okay, it's time to ask you, Ivy.
Mhm.
Wait. Okay. Yes. I'm so sorry. I just want to.
Wait, what do you have to say?
No. I'm like, and it's. I just let me. So sorry. No. Okay. By the way, that was beautiful. We're doing an awesome job. Okay. Now we have an amazing question to
Ivy,
ask
we
you.
have to know.
What is your Broad City moment?
What does that mean?
So just a crazy story to happen to you in New York.
That felt
Or,
like
like,
a
in
plot line
life.
of Broad City.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And we can give you a second if you need a second.
No. I figured one out. So in
You've
like
already told 8.
in like I know I have. In like July, I went to like a short film screening at Nighthawk in Prospect Park. That like one of my friends had a film screening at, and I met these 2 kids that made a film that was really great that was in the the screening series, and we hung out afterwards, and we were like out together all night, and we were doing this like rank ass K. Like we were just like bumping this rank ass fucking K. And I was super into the guy. It was a girl and a guy best friend, and I was super fucking into the guy. Like so into the guy where I was like on ketamine, and all I could focus on was like, I need to get him to fall in love with me. Like so like into him. Like he went into the bathroom that I was like in line for, and he didn't flush, and I was like pissing on top of his piss, and I was like, his soul is coming into my urethra from his piss type shit.
Whoa.
The K opened my eyes.
I don't remember this from Broad City.
But like but this is just like a fucked up New York night out. So his girl best friend, who I didn't know at this point that not only were they fucking, like I thought they were just roommates, but they were actually fucking and sleeping in the same bed, but didn't want to date each other because he was the filmmaker and she was the muse, and they were best friends.
I thought you were
But
going to say heiress and a Maytag fortune.
no, I wish.
The
But
muse, and they were like, "This is a bad dynamic."
yeah, but they were like deeply in love with each other, best friends, did everything together, made everything together, sleeping in the same bed, roommates,
Oh my God.
fucking. And I was like, okay, it's futile. Like, I can't get in between these two, whatever. We're doing this rank ass motherfucking K, and the girl of the dynamic gets immediately K-holes in a way where she's like throwing up on herself. She's like falling over. We're all trying.
Me as fuck.
I'm high as a motherfucker. I'm high as a fucking kite. And yet,
She's K-holing. You're like, suddenly, I know this is my chance.
I know, but I snap into like mom mode.
Oh.
And so then this other girl that they're friends with, this doll from Sheepshead Bay, loses her fucking phone in the bar after they close the bar. And so this girl is like ketted out. The other girl is ketted the fuck out, throwing up on herself, drooling on herself, falling over. I'm so high that I can't even, like, lost my right to vote at this point. But like I am snapping into fucking like like boss the fuck up mode. And so I'm trying to help this bitch find her phone. I'm trying to keep this other bitch propped up while she's literally like drooling green acid down her shirt. I'm throwing up because when I do too much ketamine, I will throw up. So I'm throwing up, but I was like, bleh. So we have to go on Find My Friends, like type shit. Like, I'm stepping my fucking pussy up. Like, I'm bossing up Flow from Progressive. Let me take initiative type shit.
Not Flow from Progressive.
And, like, then we get back. We go to their apartment. And, like, we get this girl in bed. She has a flight to catch at 7 a.m.
No.
It's 3 a.m. at this point.
No, she doesn't.
I'm throwing up. And everybody's like, are you okay? And I'm like, just go inside without me. Every second I'm like, should I just take the bus home? But I'm like, no, I actually need to help these people. But more importantly, I need to get this guy to see that I'm the type of bitch who can step her pussy up and save the day, and he needs me. Whole time he's like rubbing her hair and like, you know, like being like, baby, it's okay to this girl who's like throwing up on herself. And I'm like looking at him and I'm like, isn't this just like so fucking crazy? And he's like, what? And I'm like, just like, isn't this just like,
yeah, like should
we're
we
all,
kiss?
We're all just like here together. Like teamwork makes the dream work. You know what I mean? Like we make a really good team, don't we? And he's like, what? Like not understanding in their shared bed, like brushing her hair and like cleaning the vomit out of the corners of her mouth and shit.
No.
And I'm trying to help this other bitch find her phone. Whole time it's in her purse.
Half them out.
Whole time it's in this hoe's purse, right? And so I'm the only one that's like fucking boots on the ground, awake. This girl, we're trying to get this bitch to the airport by 7 a.m. Eventually we decide, no, this girl's not getting on no motherfucking plane going back to her family reunion. That's not happening.
No.
And so yeah, and then eventually I leave the apartment we've decided we're not letting this woman get on a plane. She's been K-holing at this point for 3 hours, and she's like moaning and groaning, and she's in love with these two people are in love, and I'll never fuck any of them. And then this other bitch is just so dumb that she lost her phone, but it was in her purse the whole time. And then I just like left at like 5 a.m, took the bus back to my apartment, and just like went to bed and was like, damn, like I can't keep doing this shit, y'all. I can't keep doing this shit.
I really have to say, no one gets as drunk as a girl who has a flight to catch in the morning.
Oh my fucking god,
so
it's crazy. Because she's like, because those bitches are always like, and listen, all love to everybody involved in that story, like truly,
Yeah, of
all
course.
fucking love, like
Hearts
all
go
love,
out.
hearts go out, dead ass. But like truly, like a girl who has a fucking flight to catch early as fuck always thinks like, well, I'm just gonna like stay up.
Exactly.
They're always like, I'm gonna stay up, and then like I don't have to like
I
get
can sleep
drunk
on
at
a
the
plane.
airport. I can
Yeah.
sleep on the plane. I'm just gonna stay up. I'm just gonna like, then I'm like at the airport and I'm lit, and it'll make time go faster. And like if my flight's at 7 a.m. and I have to be there at like 6, then and it's 4 right now, then I'll just like keep getting high and keep getting drunk, and then bitch, you're gonna fall asleep in a bathtub with your fucking ankles down the drain.
There's something so chic about going to an airport hungover.
I also
Oh my
think
God.
So
these girls
chic.
are about to spend a week with their like loving parents in Ohio. Like they need to have
They need to get it
like
out.
they
It's a
need to
release.
have
They need to
that
get,
night.
yes, you have to while out. You have to while out.
And
And
you-
so that's what happened.
You maybe said my favorite phrase I've ever heard, girl in that dynamic. I really have to say I love that.
Girl in
Talking
that
about a
dynamic.
relationship, you're like, girl in that dynamic.
Because whatever they have is like not a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is giving dynamic. This
That
not
is a beautiful
relationship.
story about yearning in kind of a K-hole
Are you talking about my mom,
place.
girl in that dynamic?
Girl, that's not a relationship. That's a dynamic. That's a dynamic. But like, yeah.
I'm sorry that all happened to you.
I was
It's like I
really-
was hoping there'd be like a upswing arc
Like
for you at the end there,
before all
but
this happened, we were at like Bossa Nova, and he like left. Like the guy like left Bossa.
I'm like getting the spins
And
as you tell the story.
I'm literally, and I'm on the dance floor, like dancing to the worst fucking trance music of all time. And I'm like looking for him, and I'm asking people, I'm like, do you know where Spencer is? And they're like,
Not
what? And I'm like, Spencer! And then guys are like coming up to me being like, yo, I met you at $3 bill a few weeks ago. And I'm like, no, you didn't. I've never been there. And they're like, do you have any Coke? And then I yell at this guy, I go, a woman should not be asked if she has Coke. A woman is given Coke. Where is Spencer? Like crashing the
So
fuck
funny.
out on the dance floor, sweating bullets, holding my jacket in my hand like it has a disease. Like I'm just like, I can't, like I can't even be touched right now. My purse is like, my hair is getting stuck in the strap of my purse. And I'm like, I can't, like where is he?
Oh My God.
It was a
Oh
fucking dark ass night.
my
All
God.
new people. I just met all those people that evening. And then the girl, when she was like K-holing and we were all like trying to like fix her, she was like, Ivy, like, I'm really sorry. This is your first impression of me. And I was like, it's okay, baby. Like, it's okay. We're gonna get you right. Like, you're gonna make that plane. And then we're all looking at each other going, she's not. She is not making that fucking plane. And we're like, you're gonna be in an Uber on the way to the airport in 30 minutes.
It's like, we're getting you an IV drip,
Yeah,
girl.
and we're
IV
like,
with an IV drip.
Yeah, and we're like, she is not getting on that fucking plane. And I'm like, if one of you lets her, I'm like leaving. I'm like getting ready to go at 6 a.m. I'm like, if one of you lets her get in that fucking Uber,
You take her
Absolutely.
phone.
They
Do you think
did.
it's lost? Take her phone.
they ended up taking her phone.
Ban JFK on Uber.
I just need to do a quick call out. Do you know the show, The New Gossip Girl, that came out 2 years ago?
The new gossip.
The
Oh,
new
like the reboot
Right, a reboot of The Gossip Girl?
with Tavi Gevinson on it
Absolutely.
because she's an actress now. Because anybody can be an actress, they think. So they think.
Who's Tavi?
She wrote
Oh,
Rookie Magazine.
Rookie Magazine, Rookie Yearbook.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
her culture's different.
Her culture's
And that's
different.
actually what's
It's
important to have her on the couch.
Do you guys know what altered state
Wait.
is? Like
Let me just do my bossa nova. Oh, sorry.
what?
You do. You go.
No, I was just talking about
Okay.
clothing store in
you
the
know,
South.
now that I was a bitch a second ago, this point's not going to hit hard at all.
Okay. Should we go to our last segment?
All I was going to say, in a new Gossip Girl, they go to Bossa Nova, and they're like, this is the coolest club in New York City. It's Bossa Nova with the lights on. It was like, no, girl.
It's Bossa with the lights on.
Where is Bossa Nova?
You've been.
Bitch, motherfucking
It's right next to
wig.
Mood Ring.
Yeah.
Oh, and we went on a Tuesday and it was empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually great to go on a Tuesday because it's a civic club.
Everybody was doing blow, and everybody was like asking me if I had blow or offering me blow, and I was like, I don't do fucking blow. Like looking for this man, like, have you seen him? And everybody's like, what? And I'm like, I don't want your fucking blow. I just want him. And then we went to. After that, we went to fucking before like the ketamine started flowing,
Right.
and then the girl crashed out. We went to oh fuck, I can't remember what this bar is, but it's near here, and or it's off like
Booby
the.
trap?
No, I don't know, but we went to a bar that has like a big ass back patio, and this dude, I was anxious as fuck, bugging the guy that I liked went to go.
Honorary Club?
No, I don't know, but this guy went to go get.
Keep guessing.
I will.
This guy went to go get the ketamine, the guy I liked, and so I was left alone with like a bunch of random men that I just met. And this
Were
one
they
guy,
gay or not? They'll help me.
not gay at all. And then
Birdies.
this one guy like came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, a lot of us are thinking to just like, you know, maybe you could just head back to my place after this." And I went, "I'm not that kind of girl." And he went, "I was speaking generally."
Wait, a lot of us were thinking that you should head back to my place.
Yeah, and I was like,
You were the girl in the dynamic.
literally, and I was literally the girl in the dynamic, and I went, "Oh, I'm not that kind of girl." Sorry, which that's a crazy line. I'm not
that kind of girl.
literally
Lena Dunham's
invoked
book.
Lena. Invoked Lena. I was like, "Oh, I'm not that kind of girl." And then he was like, "I was speaking generally, like as in we should get a group together."
The way men choose to talk to you is so interesting.
Like dogged and
It's so
dastardly.
crazy.
I'm not liking what I'm
This is
hearing.
why we don't talk to them.
Yeah, it's fucking spooky to be me.
I want to meet one though.
A man.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry.
There's got to be
I'll
one.
come
out
back.
there.
I'm going back to he, him because we've made non-binary legal.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever. Do you have a Broad City moment?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's like, well, she's doing 75 hard, which is
I'm doing 75 hard.
almost the
Nothing's
opposite.
happening in my
How
life.
has it been? I've been
That's not
sober
true.
for 2.5 months, 3 months.
It's like cool to actually be at a party where other people are drunk and you're not,
Yeah.
because you feel drunk, but then you get to be there for
no,
it.
Yeah.
drunk is just a state of being. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with alcohol.
That's so fucking true. And that's kind of what I'm discovering is like drunk is kind of just about like the joie de vivre. It's not about actually
Well,
how much you can
and
consume.
especially if you're neurodivergent, you've never needed alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, here's my situation: is I met a friend of the pod, Charlie's new boyfriend, and his
Problem is, I met my friend's new boyfriend.
and his and it's like I'm sober, so I thought I was a pretty low key person. And then the feedback that I received
You got
about
feedback?
his experience with me was that girl is fascinating.
Wait, you got feedback? I didn't get feedback.
And it's like when fascinating is invoked,
Right.
It's like, well, you
Wait,
thought I was nutted out.
You thought you was bouncing off the
Nutted
damn walls.
out.
12 little monkeys jumping on the bed.
yeah,
type
you
beat.
thought I was a psycho bitch. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, all right.
You know, I'm desperate for someone's boyfriend to call me interesting.
Because that's sex to me.
That
I googled
sex.
fascinating and then
Or
like read it on
fascinating,
thread.
yeah.
I read a Reddit about like what does it mean when a gay guy says that like I'm
Well, you
fascinating.
know the first sentence I said to the new boyfriend? I go, when Charlie compliments you, he gives me a compliment as well. That's the only way this dynamic's going to work.
Charlie
You're the
was
girl in the dynamic.
Yeah, I'm the
Charlie
girl
was
in the
like,
dynamic.
"What do you think?" And I was like, "He's perfect." And then I
Yeah.
sent the photo of Alana and Aaliyah Shawkat like miming because they are the same person. It's just like a letterbox gay guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
A letterbox gay guy.
like, I'm like,
That's
yeah.
a girl dynamic. There's a girl dynamic and a letterbox gay guy, and that's a
Yes.
perfect combo.
I haven't met Charlie's new boyfriend yet.
You gotta
No,
meet
his
Isaac.
outing was the first time yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long have they been together?
3 months.
Well, they're not officially boyfriend.
They're official.
Well, when
they're
are gay
official?
guys ever official?
They're official. Charlie was like, "This is my boyfriend Isaac."
Ooh,
So
cute.
like an acquaintance.
But is he referencing like one of 6?
No,
This is
Charlie-
That's not Charlie's
This is one of 6 of
style.
my boyfriend's
well,
Isaac.
letterbox gay guys aren't like that.
That's true.
They do
Letterbox
top
gay guys.
4.
Right.
They do top
Cheers, bitch.
And on that note,
You're bad.
girl, get your Glock. It's rapid fire time. Are you a schoolgirl or are you getting schooled, girl?
I'm getting schooled, girl.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, or Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Who would you rather have go down on you, Michael Bublé or Janet Jackson?
Janet motherfucking Jackson.
Did Leighton Meester wear better?
What's the outfit?
Wear it best.
Sorry.
I don't know what it's reference. That's like a reference from the episode, but I don't remember what.
Oh, no, whoever, the other person that wore it definitely wore it better because I'm always rooting for the bitch that's uglier.
Fuck, marry, kill, Boba, Nomu, Momofuku.
Who the fuck is Nomu? You mean Nobu?
Oh, Nobu, sorry.
Fuck Nobu, kill Fujiyama, and fuck, and marry,
So we're going right to memes.
and then marry Babo. Booba?
Literally, bitch.
So, Ivy, how are you?
I'm well. No, my
Period.
apartment's really cold.
We gotta get you a heater, girl.
What food would you pair with Tilda Swinton?
Prosciutto.
Literally.
Will Oliver be a gay guy coder or a gay guy coder?
Okay, wait.
What did
Will
you
Oliver
mean?
be a gay guy, a coder, or a gay guy coder?
Gay guy coder.
Yeah.
When you grow up, do you want to be a stunt choreographer or work with kids with MS?
Work with kids with MS.
Yeah.
What kind of porn are you watching at a cafe?
Pegging.
Yes, pegging, bring it back.
I'm doing like work dynamics.
So
Okay.
true.
Yeah.
The memes we must discuss.
To inspire the employees.
Reduce, reuse, recycle Rihanna, and they bring back like paper coffee cups, and they're like, "Sorry, it's a health code violation." Is my whole story when I was zero waste in college, and they would never
You
let.
did zero waste?
Yeah, because I was obsessed with this girl, Lauren Singer, who had like an account called Trashes for Tossers, where she fit all her trash for 5 years in a mason jar, and I was like, I want to be her
No,
when I
this
grow
girl
up.
might not know about lesbians, but she knows about zero waste.
Wait, that's crazy. I didn't know that was a thing that people did outside of the phone.
Oh yeah, I was addicted, and I would like.
You're the one girl who didn't capture it on camera.
And I was living in Canada
For
at the
love of the
time, and
game.
Canada has this place called Bulk Barn where you can buy everything in bulk.
Right.
And instead of like using the plastic bags they have there, I would show up with a bunch of mason jars.
And you would haul glass
I
back
would haul
home?
glass back to like my RA suite.
Well, you know what they just did? Starbucks is now doing cups in store.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah.
Ice. You can get your matcha.
You can get you can do
Wait,
you can do a
ice in a cup.
you can do ice in a cup. Any ice drink you can get in a cup now at Starbucks.
Ooh, what was it before?
Plastic.
Plastic, but you can
Like
now,
you always got to go, but now there's for here plates and cups.
Ooh.
And they're no longer giving out free water. And they're not letting people who
wait, what?
they're no longer they changed their policies. They had a company wide like protocol where the bathrooms are for customers only, strictly enforced, and they are not giving out free waters because people were abusing those privileges and making Starbucks less of a place to hang out.
How the fuck you abuse free water? Bitch, it come from the sink.
I go to Starbucks
don't
every
know.
day. I don't buy a thing. I use their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that water tastes so
They're
good.
coming for you, Evan.
let them. What the hell are they
Let
gonna
them.
do?
Let them.
If I go to a regular coffee shop, of course I'll buy something. But Starbucks, I don't feel like I'm
No, you
inclined
don't have
to.
to at all.
And then there's an amazing question, which I think is a great way to summarize our politics of today, where Oliver asks Alana, "How are you?" and then she does quotation marks. How am I?
So good.
It resonates.
It resonates to this day, and there's not like a week of my life since this episode came out that I haven't thought of that.
Because you know what?
How am I? I have that like feed grid posted on my Instagram 4 years ago. Like,
You know what most people don't realize though? Those are some of the two most iconic lines from Broad City, and they're back to back. They're
Yes.
literally seconds apart from one another.
How am I? And what's the other one?
reduce,
Reuse, recycle, Rihanna.
But also the Yas Queen hand
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
heart mouthing is
Where
this
she's
episode.
wearing the little hat and going,
yeah, and he's like, Yas Queen, Yas
It's
Queen.
like one of the first gifts offered on iPhone.
yes, when it literally is when Alana's like, Yas Queen. Like this episode.
That's so funny.
I feel like this episode largely the stakes are actually pretty low. A lot of this is kind of it's like a bit of a maybe not a filler episode, but then they bred so many iconic moments.
No,
this is
they
one
really
of the
did the
episodes
work.
I think wasn't appreciated in its time.
Yeah.
I think we came back to this episode and we learned to love it. When it first came out, people didn't understand how hysterical it was.
It's really funny. But what's
Yeah.
so interesting about this show versus a show like Girls is like the stakes of Girls every episode feels so fucking high. Like things feel so grave and
Absolutely.
emotional. Whereas this show is really like even when things are like kind of desperate, like they have to make $700 in a day, it's still like kind of ebullient and like jovial and silly and like we're on an adventure. But like on Girls, it's like if he doesn't text me back in like 36 hours, I'm slitting my wrist in front of his house.
I know.
Absolutely. Which has really been our experience on TikTok because every time we posted a TikTok about Girls, there's like 300 comments like fighting and really analyzing it. And then like now we'll post a clip of like us analyzing Broad City and all the comments will be like, do you really need to dissect the show like that? It's really not that deep.
It is like something that was for pleasure or making pain.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, cool.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Art should be examed.
I absolutely
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, yeah.
It should.
Well, Ivy, thank you so much for being on the
Yeah,
pod.
it was
Can we plug
amazing having
anything
you
for you?
My new Instagram at Wolk Mind Virus WOLK
I'm loving
MINDVIRUS.
You're still banned from TikTok?
Yeah, and I wouldn't use TikTok.
Yeah.
My Substack is substack.com/Ivy Wolk. I'm gonna be doing paid subscriptions there, and I'm gonna be using their live stream service now. So
Ooh.
watch me go live on Substack.
Freeze to death.
My show, I run a show called Struggle Bus at Second City every month. You can
Oh, yeah.
look at my Instagram for details. We're also going to Los Angeles. We'll be in Portland. And then I have a show at the Stand called The Right Side of History. Our next one after the one that's tomorrow will be in March. So follow my Instagram for all
You're so-
details.
I will
Love
give
it.
Ivy a shout out here. You are the single best person on earth at using Instagram stories.
I'm so good at it.
You're so good at it.
Yeah.
It's actually, thank God you're banned from other platforms because you are so good at Instagram stories. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you can put your energy there.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. I love
Hey, I
IG
gotta
stories.
check it out.
You're the only person doing it right.
Yeah, I
I-
post
I
maybe
am
60
so
times a
inspired
day
by
on
you.
Instagram stories.
Oh, that's really good. That's like Busy Phillips.
Yeah.
When she really was doing that. Miss it.
You are the new Busy Phillips.
You're the new Busy Phillips. You're,
People are saying it.
you're Gen Z Busy Phillips.
Oh my god.
QVC is gonna let you have your own show.
Wow.
Well, the thing is, we are somewhere between Busy Phillips and Ivy Wolk.
In that we're mainly busy. Like
We're mainly busy.
it's giving busy.
I'm nothing like this girl.
No, I know. I love Busy. I'm sorry that you hate her.
I don't hate busy
No.
Phillips.
Oh.
That was not insinuated.
Wait, I'm being a bitch. We're not even gonna plug our Patreon because I was a bitch at the end of the episode.
No, totally. Check out. She's a star of screen and TV. I
Oh my
think
God, yeah.
we're trying to see if
You're-
our podcast guests can collectively EGOT.
Whoa.
We've got
Wow.
a Tony. We've got a Golden Globe. That's
who
not an
globed
option.
and Tony'd?
Globe,
Who
Elsie
globed and
Fisher,
doned?
Right.
Tony, Andrew Rannells. Or did he ever
Right.
win one?
If he didn't, he did.
He did to me. Emmy, Judd.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You're
I bet. Does
I hope.
does
fingers
Judd not
crossed.
have
Finger
O?
crossed. What?
Does Judd not have O?
No.
Has Judd ever made a movie that's Oscar?
No.
No.
Commercially successful movies are his thing.
That's maybe better.
Yeah, This Is 40 is amazing.
It's
So good.
one of my favorite films of all
It's
time.
so good.
Can you imagine you get to laugh for once? We haven't done that in years.
Literally in yours.
I can't think of something that's like making me laugh, which is hurts.
I bet Maud Apatow's production company is going to turn it all around.
Oh, I know. I'm so happy.
So,
I didn't.
We
I didn't.
sucked the energy.
I didn't book her movie.
Oh no.
oh, never mind. And I retract my
But
statement.
it's okay. I stand with you all. I stand with that family. I stand by that family.
They're all amazing.
I
They
love
are.
it. And And so are you. Thanks for being on the pod, girl. And thanks for listening, everybody. See you next
Love
week.
you.
Bye.